So wars are going to continue to be, I think, more detrimental for certain civs because I'm starting to see more and more artillery weapons pop up all around the world. So wars that break out from here on out will, like I said, probably have major impacts. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's check on the colonization. It has been a little while. So the Mongols have not moved at all. Actually, that's weird. Maybe these guys are bugged out. I did push the campaign. I pushed the campaign by 2 turns, 2 or 3 turns. I don't even know. Okay, and it looks like finally we've got the Huns doing something. Oh, but that's down here. Oh, so I'm sorry. Well, the Huns did do something, then they got it captured back. But look at this. The Caspian Sea only what, 5, 6? I mean, inside of the cities too. But the Persians only have a few boats remaining. So the Huns might be able to finally start to make some progress here. Byzantium finally took over Greece's capital. Remember, Greece still exists inside of New Zealand, though, so that is something to keep in mind. But this is still a big win for Byzantium. Now Byzantium can kind of start to move over towards Istanbul if they want to, but we'll see. Oh, the Huns just captured something. They took this city back? Yes, they did. And look at that. All right, so there's more range units. The range units are already ready. The Huns could desperately use artillery weapons here. They could really use it, but the Huns, I think, are a little bit behind in terms of technology. 2 Great War Bombers, 2 triplanes, and hey, at least they're finally starting the whole Sardis siege. I'm assuming that is the Sardis siege. Let's check in on Japan. What are the Congo doing? Congo moving up through this territory a little bit. Did I just miss something? Yes, I did. I think I might have missed the biggest war to have broken out in this entire campaign. Yes, I did. Okay, so that happened somewhere in the last 3 turns. And that's just something that's going to happen when I need to push the campaign, because I'm not going to sit here and watch it. I need to... I'm doing things in the background while it's processing. I guess I missed the notification. It doesn't look like it's been going on for that long, because there hasn't been any exchange of cities, but there are a few sieges that are occurring. Okay. Whoa. So pretty much 1 and 2. I don't know. The Congo are pretty high up there, but at least we've got 2 of the 3 top powers in the world at it finally, the Shanu and the Chukchi. I didn't actually think this was ever going to happen. I wish I knew who declared war on who, because it both looks like both of these nations have an advantage in different areas. So the Shanu are screwed here. Let's not forget that they also have colonies out this way. I don't know if there's going to be an immediate border. There probably won't be a siege that takes place. The Sumer and the Shanu have peaced out. Yeah, I don't think anything will take place in the New World. Doesn't seem like there's anything that can go down here. Let's see how the Shanu react. So there are clearly a few sieges that look like they're going to go the Chukchi. Look like they're going to be an advantage for the Chukchi. However, I mean, you've got the Shanu with a massive force here that could swoop up and maybe grab some hugely populated cities. 25 population, 18, 23. All right, yeah, this is probably one of the biggest wars we've ever seen. This is probably the biggest war we've seen in an AI-only battle with 60-plus civs. With 60-plus civs, that's keyword. I can't remember off the top of my head some of the bigger wars that we've seen, but this is by far the biggest of this series, and probably the last series too. I mean, there was also I remember in the last series, Africa broke out into a pretty big war, so that was kind of interesting. But I don't think I got that on camera. That was something else that took place over the break. So I don't know what's going to happen to these settlers. Russia declared war on Byzantium. That's interesting. Russia does have, well, St. Petersburg is not coastal, so they're not going to have as much of a time. This is so weird. These borders here, are going to make things so difficult. Byzantium and Greece have peaced out. Austria and Greece have peaced out. We've got Babylon going after Byzantium. That's going to make things really difficult. Very difficult for Byzantium, because now they've pretty much got no chance of taking over Istanbul. This Armenian city that was formerly Ottoman was taken by the Persians. And we have a journey across the Caspian Sea for the Huns. All right, so big stuff happening. Huge stuff is happening. We still haven't checked on Constantinople. I know I have access from my spy to look into this city, and that might be really interesting. Now that we have Babylon, someone that's pretty high in technology, at war, we might see some interesting things happen with a siege from Babylon for Constantinople. The Huns are still at war with the Persians, but this is the big one right here. So the Chukchi are pretty much ready to go. I think the Chukchi could swoop up and, oh, you know what? This city is not defended almost at all. The Shanu capital is barely defended. And how do the Japanese take this all into consideration? How do the Japanese and the Siamese as well, Siam and Japan, how are they going to go into this in the future? Oh, the Goths are now going after Byzantium. So now that Greece has been kicked out, oh, the Goths are going to have a nice route to attack Constantinople from the north down. So this is going to be an interesting race to see who takes over Constantinople. The problem is that Byzantium still has a pretty strong hold navally, unless France gets involved, which France might. France is really quiet. They're just in a good relationship with the Vandals. That's about it. Yeah, this is really changing things. This is really going to change things. Wait a second, is the Japanese are not at war with Chukchi. That did not take place. We've got Finland now. That's Finland, not Norway. Portugal does still exist, just to let everybody know. We've got another Finnish settler though. That's pretty cool. Finland, I'm assuming, already settled. Oh no, they've still got this guy here. Yeah, and the New World's getting eaten up real quick. Really quick. There's Arabia. Arabia is now part of the colonial civs now, I'm assuming. I guess we can say that. All right, so the Chukchi, I think, the Shanu just went. Still no cities exchanging hands. That's the problem. A 3-city swing would be huge. The Shanu still have to fight through several cities to get to something like really powerful for the Chukchi. The Chukchi are already there. They're already here to take the Shanu capital. That's the issue. I think it's safe to say. So it looks like more than likely the Chukchi declared war on the Shanu, because they seem to have the advantage going after the capital. But things are going to get really weird once these two massive armies meet in the north. We've got peace deals with the Ottomans, peace deals with the Persians. So that's good for them. They'll be able to kind of escape. Forgot about all these Hunnic cities up this way. And also Mongolia. There's actually a lot of civs that are probably watching this in a really interesting way. So, like, yeah, if the Shanu do lose a lot of cities, does Mongolia go after the eastern side, or the western side, I should say, of the Shanu Empire? Does Kazakhstan try it as well? There's a lot of units back this way. I think that eventually this conflict will come to a stalemate, but at what point? Does it come to a stalemate by the time the Shanu lose their capital? Because then that's ultimately like, yeah, this is a big win for the Chukchi. Pretty massive win for them, actually, if they can take the capital. And I don't believe the Shanu have paratroopers, which is going to be the big issue here. There's actually like no reinforcements. Unless, well, yeah, that's the issue. They need, oh man, they are in a tough spot. This was a very smart war for the Chukchi, because you've got some really big population cities. Boom. One city's fallen, and the siege of the Shanu capital has begun. So now we need to start thinking about the western half of the Shanu Empire. The half that the Huns border, the Mongolians border, the Kazakhstani border, Kazakhstani units border. I mean, that's where things are going to get interesting. I mean, maybe even the Assyrians, I seriously doubt it. The Assyrians have still crossbowmen, but you know, you never know. Let's also watch for these sieges here. I mean, the Huns are still going hard. Have the Huns, I don't know what's going on up there. But and Constantinople is also really interesting, with Babylon and the Goths both involved. We just need to see if the French also try something. Or maybe the Congo. I don't know. I think the Congo, obviously pretty preoccupied with colonization. I know they've got more settlers. Did those 3 or 4 Ethiopian settlers decide where they're going? Yeah, they're all going for South America. That's what we figured. Yep, 4 Ethiopian settlers. So they're going to take they're going to tie Spain with the most cities in South America very soon. This guy, I think, is bugged out. All right, let's see what the Shanu can do. So they can take this, can't they? Well, yeah, they've got a cavalry unit, so they'll take this. Obviously, 6 population cities, nowhere near their capital. But you know, it's about progress, right, Shanu? I'm trying to defend you as best I can. I'm trying. There we go. So they got something. But, yeah, you're still in a bad situation because you're still going to lose your capital. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, what's that? Oh, well, someone probably chose autocracy or probably order. I don't know. We did notice that, yeah, all the order nations are having a lot of trouble. Chukchi will probably eliminate these 2 Shanu cities, which means that the Shanu are going to be cut off very, very soon from the New World. I mean, obviously they have... Oh, Persia took that back. Obviously they still have their colonies all over the place. But this is a good jumping off point from Siberia. These were, you know, not bad, these islands. This is also going to make the Japanese-Chukchi border even more intense. That's what's going to happen. All right, so the Huns are going to have to take this city back. It's pretty much killed all the population here. The siege of Susa has been pretty bad too. Nothing's happening up this way. Oh, although the Huns are now processing their turn, so we don't know yet. Yeah, I bet you we see a lot of these units start to mobilize. I think the problem for the Shanu is that they were just getting done. Well, they got done with the Persian War like a while ago. But they got, you know, they had moved so many of their units off towards the west that they had nothing back home protecting their capital back in the east. This is going to make things a lot better. I mean, I know that city was only at 3 population. Now it's only at 3 population, but this is going to make things a lot easier because it's going to be connecting the infrastructure. Well, actually, no. You need to get rid of this 1 Mongolian tile. That's going to hurt you. So the Chukchi grabbed, I think, this city out this way, right? Yeah. And then they're going to grab 1 more at the very least. But this is big. I mean, it's going to be able to at least connect the empires because before they weren't connected. It was just the eastern half and the western half. So they can maybe drag more people over. They need to get a worker and start the railroads up this way. Lung Tang is going to be very difficult to take. Maybe. I think it is. There's mountain ranges at least. I think for the most part they're going to continue to roll over cities until they get to this region here. I think that's when the Shanu can stop them, but that's when the damage will be done. You know, enough damage will be, for the most part, pretty done. I just want to know what the Japanese and the Siamese are thinking in this situation. Imagine like kind of a dual coalition war between the Japanese and the Siamese working together. I seriously doubt that would ever happen. I feel like if anything, the Siamese and the Japanese would not work together. They probably don't like each other, but it would be interesting. Siam has their own artillery weapons. Siam clearly was continuing to fight for this Marathan city, but yeah, that's not happening. They're still trying, but yeah, it's not going to happen. I wonder what the Siamese are thinking. They have not colonized at all, which is so strange. Because they have such a good position to. Alright, let's see what the Shanu do. Okay. Oh, there you go. Perfect. You slapped the citadel down. That's exactly what you needed. Well, that was kind of a weird placement, but that's fine. There's still a road in place. Well, that was a very smart move for the most part. Oh, your capital's surrounded though, dude. Yeah, your capital is surrounded. That is bad. Needless to say, that is really, really bad. So now we're going to see this Chukchi Navy move on here. Is anything else under siege? Something else to keep in mind is that maybe a war against the Chukchi is unlikely, but more people piling on top of the Shanu is much more. It's a higher possibility, and I'm actually interested to see what would happen to the Shanu colonies in the New World. That's where things would get interesting. No one has too many like intense borders. Maybe nothing too crazy. Dang, Finland is just settling all over the place. They're not trying to do just one consolidated empire. They're just trying to grab whatever spots are opened. It seems like. Here comes Ethiopia. Latin America better get ready for Ethiopia. I guess we can't really call it Latin America. And if everyone reminds me of that, they're like, Drew, you can't call it Latin America. But yeah, so South America better get ready for Ethiopia because they're going to be pretty strong force in that continent. All right, so there's about one turn left. Let's see. Shanu has at least the pyramids. The Congo are the only ones that we know of that have the Manhattan Project, so they're still, and they're even still several turns away from nukes. I'd imagine that the Chukchi are probably higher in technology, though, still, since we don't see any paratroopers from the Shanu side of things. Let's really quick check on Constantinople. Persia might be the only civ that might be able to eliminate Armenia completely. Going from the south-north is much easier than from the north-south. Yeah, Byzantium's got some balls on them. They're continuing to, I guess not really, because she's Theodora, but whatever. Yeah, because they're continuing to push for Istanbul, even while the Babylonians are moving into their territory, even while the Goths are showing interest. The Goths are going to have a tough time, migrating down, especially if they try to embark through the Black Sea. That's a bad thing, if that's what they're going to try to do here. Ooh, Finland getting open borders with both Sweden and Austria. Relationships are starting to change in Scandinavia, apparently. They must be. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty big if the Finnish can bring more ships into the Atlantic. That's gonna help them a lot to be able to defend all these colonies, because they have a lot of colonies and they're all spread out. All right, let's see one more time what the Shanu can do. Shanu do not do much. All right, this is gonna be interesting. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.